Have you stopped thinking long enough to become the observer? Have you stopped thinking long enough to realize there is no control? Have you stopped thinking long enough to see you're simply nature running off? This is the question. This is difficult to do in the sea of stimulation, aggravation, information, and it requires us to start to do things like facilitate a state of peace, to reconstitute and empty the mind, to purify the body. It requires us to do all these things to help better facilitate a state of presence or a state of surrender, which gets us to stop thinking, which allows us to then eventually gain a deeper understanding as we become the observer and realize we're just nature running off and we're not actually doing anything. There is no control. We just think we're caught in the cycles of thought. We think we're somebody doing something. We think we're in control, right? These are all attachments to the ego. These create separation through the thinking mind in the illusion. What happens when we stop thinking? And long enough, we become the observer and we realize we're nature running off. We see there is no control. All of our suffering assumes control. Sin, regret, shame, guilt, all assume control. They all assume that we're in control, that we're somebody doing something. But these are all just traps of the illusion. These are all traps of the thinking mind. We think we're in control. What happens when you surrender? You stop thinking. You're giving up the attachment and your identification to control, the controller, the doer, the somebody. You're giving up your attachment to this. Every second you stay present, you are dissolving the ego because you are detaching yourself from identifying with the ego. And you're going into the center of the circle, which allows you to stop thinking, which allows you to be your higher self, allows the divine to flow through you, and this is what brings us deeper understanding. This is what we need on our journey of spiritual awakening. We need to gain these deeper understandings. And how do we do that? Presence and purification. These are the foundations. And we don't got to worry about anything. Anytime we think we messed up, we're stuck on something that we think we need to get rid of, and we're thinking. You don't got to even worry about a thing. You just have to observe it no matter where you are. Your being, your conditioning, and your consciousness knows about the one true path of presence and purification. And as long as we're on this path, which is self-correcting, you might think you're falling and stumbling, going backwards, going forwards, X, Y, and Z. But we will continue on this path as we switch and change perspectives to gain deeper understanding in different areas, which allows us to continue and evolve on our spiritual awakening. So the only thing we have to do is continually keep letting it go all of our attachments, letting go things like seeking information and seeking stimulation and aggravation, all which perpetuates the cycles of thought, which gets us thinking we're somebody doing something, thinking we're in control, and keeps us trapped in the cycles of suffering. All this is due to stimulation in the thinking mind. This is the root cause. Thinking is the cause of all suffering. I keep going back to this quote. Stop thinking and solve all of your problems. So remember, the only thing there really is to do is nothing. Is to stop thinking, is to stop taking in stimulation to the best of your ability and become the observer and become and observe your nature running off. Observe no control, which allows you to surrender more because you're not constantly attached to the doer, to the actor, thinking you're doing something and things are happening to you. We think we're somebody doing something and that things are happening to us. This is an attachment caused by the thinking mind. We can detach this by practicing presence and purification. Again, purification is important to help calm the body and the mind, which helps us come into presence and surrender. And it's a wild ride, as we all know. Our perspectives are going to be constantly changed. All we have to do, no matter what is happening, is surrender. Because remember, everything is perfect and happens perfectly in divine timing. So there's nothing really to do but surrender. Give it all up. And allow the divine to work through us and to facilitate our awakening. And as we become more free, we can help others become more free from the traps of the illusion. That's why we're all here, to become free and to join together and to become free as a humanity, and to help others get free from the traps, the toxic food program, the prison society, all this suffering, the thought, thinking we're in control. And the greatest way we can do anything, which is obviously we're going to do nothing, is to do nothing, which is working on yourself, which is freeing yourself. Because every second we're in presence, we're allowing the divine to work through us, which does what? Which corrects all imbalances. Presence and purification correct all imbalances. So we don't have to do anything, we don't have to think about anything, we don't have to try to do anything. All we have to do is be the observer and observe our nature running off, and which is our higher self, which allows our cosmic beloved to work through us, allows us to become true vessels for the divine, true high consciousness vessels for the divine. And this allows us to escape the cycles of rebirth and move on to the next level, whatever you want to call it, fourth density, as the law of one refers to it. So thank you for joining me, my friends. This is just yet another quick reminder on the importance of presence and purification, because that is all there really is to do. If you want to say there is to do anything, which all there really is to do is nothing, is to stop thinking. So everything we're doing in this ego world, or the world of attachment, is to facilitate a state of peace and calm in the body, the mind, the soul, the emotions, everything, which is going to allow us to surrender even more until we can surrender completely and become one with our cosmic beloved in the sense of cosmic consciousness. And this allows us to be a vessel for the divine, our greater selves, our higher selves, the Atman. And this is how we're going to help others, no matter who it is, no matter what relationship to us they are. And that's the greatest way we can help anyone. If sometimes we get stuck in these thinking we're in control situations, and we just want to be able to help someone, but we can't, maybe because of different levels of consciousness, can cause lots of stress among us if we're getting caught, if we're getting attached to it. So all we really have to do in anything is continue presence and purification, which is working on ourselves, which is going to free us more, which is going to make us better able to help everyone around us automatically, because the divine will be working through us. May our cosmic beloved grant us peace, patience, presence, and understanding. I am God's eternal love pouring forth. Namaste.